Good morning. Welcome to Golden Rule Wellness Mission, The Wise Woman Way. Elizabeth is here hosting. Thank you for joining in. So this morning, we are having breakfast. And you can go to the YouTube video under Elizabeth Live to see what this year, but okay, so this year is a hash brown with spinach, sliced onions, and diced avocados on top of the hash brown with cheddar cheese. It's a full meal, and it's a healthy meal because you have four vegetables, the potato hash brown itself, the spinach, the sliced onions, and the diced avocado. So you got four different vegetables here. So this is a very healthy meal. And here it is. We're gonna go ahead and give it a taste. And I tell you, it's quite delicious. Okay, so we have the camera set. We just want to make it so you guys will be able to see it pretty well. It is fall season and the weather's been beautiful, and the foliage leaves color on the tree. For people who are nature lovers, which we all should be, but everyone's not conscious, so everyone can't see the beauty of the different color leaves on the trees. I mean, red, orange, brown, green, you name it. It's just so vivid and beautiful here in Connecticut. So I hope you guys like the videos I put up on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook of me enjoying the weather, as well as other folks that were with me. And so let's get back to this breakfast, because I do have a morning reflection on a subject that's close to my heart. And I just want to give some information. And I love giving information. I am an informational worker in human services, as well as a guidance counselor through the spirit. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead. Here it is, you guys, if you can see it. This is the hash brown. Look at it. It is beautiful, you guys. Look at that. Wow. You can see the avocado, spinach, sliced onion, and the cheddar, like it want to fall right off. Well, and then we made a sauce here to go with it. And if you guys want the recipe, a step-by-step recipe for it, or a video on step-by-step how we make it, just shoot a comment below. Let me know what state you live in or country you live in. We appreciate that, as well as with your name, you know. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and taste our loaded hash browns. Okay, here we go. So I'll get me some avocado and spinach with the onion. Wow, this looks delicious, you guys. Look at that. Let me make sure you just get a good look at that. Wow. Wow. Have a lot of nice flavors going there. I'd say it's delicious. Can't beat this. 4 different vegetables on a hash brown with cheddar. My goodness. And we have our sauce here, homemade sauce here, made up of bell peppers, some cheddar sauce, a hint of hot sauce, and a hint of ground mustard. Let's try this. With ketchup. Perfect blend. Okay. So you guys, this is food for the body. Now, let's get busy with the food for thought. And my morning reflection today is about, of course, humanity, people, friends, relatives, strangers, and what we get here. We want to talk about the individual person. We know that there's microsystems and macrosystems all around us that develop all around us. As we was birthed into this world, we was already given a religion, family, perhaps friends, and as we begin to grow up as toddlers going into elementary school, you know, the microsystem get bigger. Now we begin to become involved by those who have authority over us. We begin to start going to school, attending classes, whether it's in a religious institution or whether it's even your parents or someone guiding or teaching you through your toddler years into your elementary years, middle school age years, and as well as your high school years. There are organizations all around you, which is part of a microsystem around you, the individual. And as you grow, you start to see the localities, such as, you know, the neighborhoods you're living in. You start to realize you're living in a city or a town, whether it's a rural area or a suburban area. Well, you move on up to the macro system and you're starting to become you become a young adult. And now we have to recognize that, you know, we have culture, you know, it's a society, you know, belief systems, corporation, media, internet, all of this stuff is playing and adding to our lives as the individual. So what does this do or can do to an individual? First of all, with all of these systems all around you, it's like you hadn't really even had time for you to grow and develop in the world to understand your own self, such as who are you, why are you here, where you come from, you know, that self-psychology. You never had that opportunity to lay back and really look at the stars in the sky at night and things of nature. So the subject here I'm talking about, and it's really deep, and it is, who am I? And I think this is a powerful message because we see people walking through life injuring other people. They have all these, you know, systems around them which is part of their ingredient or makeup of who they came to be today. And, you know, we find these people basically walking around treating people any kind of way, and as well as treating yourself any kind of way, you know, the body, the mind, or even the spirit. And so man has injured man to his own injuries. And a lot of times with humanity, especially in the Western worlds, basically the culture, we walk around with masks on. We walk around like a phantom. You know, the real us doesn't really show at all. It's who we become to be by way of these systems from the micro to the macro system, as we grow and develop in life. Well, Golden Rule Wellness Mission is all about helping people to understand that we must treat the whole body to find ma'at's balance, harmonious balance. And so we have to understand that we have to change our whole perspective, how we come to be. Because for the most part, it's not us being. We're being something else. Definitely something that, our higher power, or whoever you call your God, did not intend for us to be. So, like all of us, we start off using words like from these systems, like I did this, I did that, me, my. When you're working with people or you doing a job, everything is so individualized to the point that we begin to grow these huge egos. You get an ego, and the more physical things you get in life, your ego begins to grow. So like a little child who has so many things that they're attached to, even in their bedrooms or wherever, or even in these microsystems as they start off into Head Start programs for schooling and everything, they begin to attach themselves to these things. Having a lot of toys and a lot of things in their room, they begin to attach themselves to these things. So their ego begins to grow. And it continued to grow throughout the elementary years, the middle school years, and the senior year of school, and even into college. You're married with children and you still have an ego, but it's not that little ego that you once had. It has grown into a bigger ego. And a lot of times, if you have a lot of wealth, currency, money, whatever you call it, your ego can really quickly grow into a super ego, becoming a very egoist person, and you find yourself detached to people. You ever heard that saying, it's lonely at the top? Well, there you have it. You can gain the whole world, but is it worth losing your very soul, yourself? Losing that spirit, your guidance by way of nature? No, it's not worth it. So a lot of times when people come to realize they get to this point in life, they start to see there must be something wrong. I done accomplished all this in life and I'm still not happy. I don't care how many degrees you got, how many fine cars you got, how many fine women you got, how many houses you got, how many places you've been in the world, who you are, where you've been, what's your height, your color, your skin color. None of that matter at all. What matter is finding peace in this life and maintaining that peace and not allowing no one to make you sick. That's why I say man has injured man to his own injuries. And it's because of these microsystems that are put in place that really break a person down. And literally you can become, or most people do become, broken beyond doubt of ever healing, unless they hear by way of nature, the spirit talking to them. And it's in the sense like a lion roaring. Somebody has to be able to wake you up. Anyhow, like I said, Golden Rule Wellness Mission is all about helping people Bring your mind, body, and spirit/soul into one place for harmonious balance. And so I really want you guys to pull from this here. You know, this me, my, I continues to divide the individual. And this super ego is a killer. Your ego can become so super or out of place to the point that people don't even want to talk to you unless people are hooked into the fear factor and they scared of anything that they don't understand. And that's basically how things are. You fear what you don't understand. So you literally run. For instance, I'll tell you this story quickly and I'll end this video. Thank you for listening to The Wise Woman Way. We come into this world and, we have to figure these things out on our own. We need time to sit in solidarity. Because you see, when you allow this ego to take over and control you, then you have to find a way to peel this mask off, because around everybody, you're dressed up, made up. No matter what your style is, it doesn't matter. That's okay. You learn to identify with yourself as you grow. But you're wearing this mask where most people cannot see the real you. And people are really petrified when they grow, through all these systems, and they really can't say who they are, where they come from, why they're here. Most people don't know, and yes, our life is a purpose-driven life, but we have to get this thing. We're here for a purpose, and you better get that sooner rather than later. It will serve you, give you more time on God's green earth for you to enjoy yourself. Happy days, peace. There is nothing greater than peace. And as I said in my last video, for food for thought, your wealth is not your greatest asset. Your greatest asset is your health. Because if your health start falling, the mind detached from the body, and you can get sick mentally, physically. And when you're in those states of being, it's very hard for you to even make a penny. So get this thing, you have to get this thing. Okay? And so we share a lot of our information on The Wise Woman Way under Elizabeth Lyde, who is the founder of Golden Rule Wellness Mission. Also, you can go to Golden Rule Wellness Mission. Well, that would be Golden Rule WM .org. That's the website. We're still currently working on it. But you have some things you can pull from there. If anybody want to book a 15-minute free session with me, you can. Like I said, I am a spiritual guidance counselor as well as a informational worker. I distribute a lot of information. We show up at places to get information so we can give to the general public. Now, Golden Rule Wellness Mission is for all people, regardless of your race, color, your religion, your height, skin, whatever. We say in Golden Rule, that speaks for itself. That's for all of humanity. All people walking on this earth, for the most part, who's in a positive sense. We are all companions in life. So we have to lift each other up. But we're going to go here to African people of the continent and African people of descent or in the diaspora. Now, we know that we are considered injured human beings by way of imperialism, by way of colonization, in Africa and slavery throughout the Americas and the Western worlds. So that has broken the African American people and the people of African descent and from the continent. We lost our way. It was forced, taken away from us. You know, we had everything set up for thousands and thousands of years. We know all this because there's plenty of evidence, information, resources that you can tap in to understand the African history. As a matter of fact, before there was any history of humanity, it was first history of Africa. Let's be clear. African is a broad term because humanity first came from out of Africa. It is, we know, the cradle of civilization. That's why we call Africa Mother Africa. You know? Anyhow, we know what happened to Asian folks, Caucasian folks, the Caribbean, West Indies, all around the world. We know how different cultures and people come to be. But let's be clear about one thing. All of humanity first come from out of the continent Africa. And perhaps you have to understand there was one landmass which made it much easier for people to migrate from one place to the other. Just as my grandmother came from North Carolina to Connecticut. This has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. Most of the time people stay closer by the sea so we can have water. And remember, water is a very important thing. Anyway, I'm going to end this video. This would be part 1, food for thought, food for the body, but morning reflection before the Connecticut Black Expo. And on part 2, I'll go in to telling a story, a second story, how I, as a young girl, a young lady, was impacted once again by the Black Expo that was in New Haven, Connecticut, at the Armory on Gulf Street. Okay, you guys, I'm glad you're listening. For those who get this information on YouTube, please help Golden Rule Wellness Mission share this information to people, because it's a self-help group / organization where we try to uplift humanity. If you can subscribe to support us, that can bring in funds to help us to move on the things that we strategically plan for the rest of this year and the coming year. Okay? Don't forget to press like, because we like you. Okay, you guys, be well, practice being wiser, and always think higher. And you guys enjoy this season. It's a beautiful season. All right now. Ashe.